Hello, it's time for another video here. There has been an interesting interview on News Nation by Ross Coulthart with one of the men who found the Baltic Sea Anomaly in 2012. And I will make a short video there because there is a kind of cool theory connected with this one that some people knows about this, of course, but not everyone. So that's why I'm making the video now. I'm also gonna talk a little bit what I thought of that interview and what I think of this Baltic Sea anomaly, this object. So I will talk about like the history, how they found it, and show some pictures and that new video that I saw from News Nation, which is a nice, interesting video. And as you can read here, they also found burnt organic material under the rock, and this was sent to a lab in 2013. And I'm not an analytical chemist, so I don't know like exactly. I didn't really understand their findings that well, but as I understood it, and what I also read in the summer, is that they think this burnt organic material under the rock is very old, between it could be up to maybe from 1500 years ago to maybe 150,000 years ago, something like that. That's just a huge, but it was their findings basically. And I will also see here, because we haven't heard much from these Ocean X, which is basically a company that makes they own a boat, and they make dives in the ocean, and their idea, of course, is to film cool stuff that they can sell, maybe to some TV series. And they have been in some TV series, but maybe because they are giving an interview to News Nation, that maybe they are. I think the reason why they're doing that is that they might have some kind of TV series upcoming, maybe by Netflix or BBC or something, where they would maybe make some more dives and show us some more of this object. Because one problem has been with this object is that they have kept it a secret from like the public and the scientific community where it is, and that's obviously because they want to monetize the discovery, make a TV series about it or so. But the thing is that, as he also said in the interview, that the Swedish Navy and other navies, like from other countries, they were obviously very interesting. This like American and Russian and whatever. So of course they have been like following their ship, because like where, as I understood it, every ship they need to have some kind of. I'm not sure about that, but they said at least that they have had seen like. Ships like following them when they were going out to the Baltic Sea Anomaly, like both Swedish and foreign ships, because this is located somewhere in the Baltic Sea, and as you know, it's a very large sea basically, so it could be in a lot of places. But so it's not really a secret where it is, like to this government, like for example a lot of people thinks that there is like a bit of a secret American organization that is investigating UFOs. For example, they would know where it is, and if other countries like China or Russia, whatever, they would also know where it is, and probably the Swedish Navy would also know where it is, because they have been following this and tracking where this ship Ocean X is going, and makes dive down to the anomaly basically. And then I will end this like presentation by talking about, there is like a hidden connection to something known as the Tyomby tiles, which I will talk about that later. And this is something that was speculating when this was found quite a lot in UFO circles, basically. So here is a picture of the rock. So this rock, yeah, people think that it looks like a spaceship. For example, it's a little bit like the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars, for example, and there is some kind of a stairs. So basically, it's like a ship, and there is like some kind of stairs up to the ship. And what we will see the video here is that what we are looking now is like the back of the ship. So it would travel. This would be like the engine parts that is to the right, and the front of the ship would be to the left. And the idea is that if we say it's a spaceship and it crash landed into the ocean, and then it like went like to the bottom of the ocean, and then it made like a path for a long time. We will see a video about this, but they say in the video that it is like maybe 1 kilometer path behind this ship, and that would be yeah, an argument that it's a spaceship that crash landed into the ocean, and then it tried maybe to make some kind of a landing. So it tried it didn't really crash land because it tried to make some kind of a landing, and it got like a track behind it. So here is another image. So I think this image here is from above. So on the right you see yeah, you see like here, and this to the right here, this more whitish color, this is what they call the track, and we will see a video here about that too. And then on one side of the ship there is, this is also like an old thing, but this is like this, there is like a hole here, and it's what looks like a triangle here. They are highlighting it, and I took these pictures from this New Nations interview. I will give a link in the description if you want to watch the whole interview. And then they was talking about that this looks pretty sharp here, this green line here. So here it's 1.5 kilometers. So the idea would be because so it would crash land here, as I understand it, and that's why this rock formation, this yellow rock formation, is split in two. It like crash landed here, and then it went on the floor of the ocean here, and this is the spaceship done. So we're gonna show the video here. They are like this also from the News Nations that I've taken this video here. So it crash land like this, and then it would go like this when it tried to land. So it didn't got a smooth landing because it landed into that rock, it looks like, and then it came like this, and yeah, this would be the spaceship here then. And there have been some interesting videos. For example, you probably see the Ancient Apocalypse series by Graham Hancock, and he investigated something he called the Binemy Road, which is a road in the Central Americas. I think it's near the Bahamas Islands, I think. And here is some picture I found on the internet with a diver, and this is like a rock formation here. You can see these rocks, they look at least they look like they are like handmade, these rocks here, and this is also maybe for 1 kilometer. So maybe yes. So at least what Graham Hancock he says in that video is that this Bimini Road, maybe like a few thousand years ago, maybe this was above water, and someone made this kind of a road structure above water, and then it fell underwater lately. That's his theory, at least. and this kind of like a pathway, it reminds me a little bit about that landing of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. But yeah, of course, with both this one and there is also some scientist who believes that this is just a natural rock formation, and it's just yeah, just a chance that it has such sharp lines, basically. So then I will talk about one more thing here before I talk about Tiombi tiles. There was also this series by I think that also was on Netflix, maybe, by George Knapp, UFO investigations or something like that. And what he did, that he had some other friend that was a diver, and then a bit like Ocean X, and that guy also had found some underground structures, but I think that was it was also somewhere in the Americas. I don't remember exactly where it was now, but it was also some weird rock formations that they were making dives when yeah, basically they were also making dives, and there is this kind of video in this that they thought they see some kind of a strange light, and that uh, is a little bit like, maybe is it like an alien craft or so that are observing them, or is it some kind of US military ship that's like observing them? And it's a little bit like the same story about that this guy from the Ocean X, that he told that he was also being followed, like when they went to this to do more investigations and diving and stuff. Then he also saw ships like on the radar and stuff like that close by. So then we come to this Tyambi ID. So all in all, Tyambi, he was an American historian, and and this kind of thing, this is like a sign. It was put in the asphalt in the like roads, bitumen asphalt roads in United States and other places, and it was put there. I think it was already from the 80s and maybe 2000, like on 20 years. This was put, yeah, probably by the same artist or maybe by like copycat. So it's a little bit like if you heard about Banksy putting some kind of street arts, but this was like in, I don't know exactly, but you can Google these Tyambi tiles, and it says a lot about it. It's maybe 50 different cities in America has this one in the pavement somewhere, and it's a little bit interesting. Like first, like how did it get there? Because if it's an artist that he would like to dig up the ground, like maybe to put it there, or is he just painting, like, but it doesn't look like it's and why didn't anyone see him doing that? If he would like do it in the night, if he would, let's say that he removes the asphalt and put this more like a stone in its place, then of course people would hear when they would remove the asphalt bitumen. And yeah, so it's people has been wondering, like, how did they do it, like technically, why did they do it, and who did it, like, was it an organization or whatever, or is this some kind of like is there some kind of a supernatural message here, like inspired by whatever, like, is there some, because it was made so many times, like, is there some like hidden message, and what was, if this is a street artist who's made it, what was his intention? So let's analyze this. So this Tiambi ID, people doesn't really know. There are speculations about that on the wiki. You can read about it. And then it says in Kubrick's 2001, and that's obviously that great movie by Kubrick, 2001: A Space Odyssey. And then it says resurrected on planet Jupiter. And I don't know if you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it. But yeah, basic story. You kind of will, if you have seen the movie, you kind of understand this because basically it's about a spaceship traveling to Jupiter to do investigation, and it has a pretty weird ending. But what people were speculating about this one, like what is like if is there like a hidden message in because there is not so much dialogue in this Kubrick's 2001, and it's like for all ufologists, it's like all everyone ufologist favorite movie, like because it's just a masterpiece, this Kubrick's movie 2001. So what people did is that they started to analyze all the lines, like was he like divinely inspired when he, and this is based on a book by Clark. Like what kind of line is weird in that movie, because there is not so many lines. It's a long movie, but there is not so many lines, and every line feels like it makes sense except for a few. And one there is one scene in this 2001 that I will show you now. It's in the second part of the movie. So first part of the movie is that ancient history stuff, and then they are on this kind of a space station 5 here. And what's happening is that the man in the middle there, it's an American scientist, I think, and he's coming to this station, which I believe, yeah, it's some kind of international space station. And so, for example, I think the man here on the left is Russian. I think it's called Smyslov in the movie, and they are like talking about a finding on Mars in the movie. And this guy here in the middle, he's asking this woman to the right, like, why isn't your husband there, and how is, because it seems like they know each other. He asked this woman here, what, well, like, why is he not like on the spaceship? What could be more important than to come to investigate this on March? And she answers, yeah, he's well, but he couldn't come because he has been doing some underwater research in the Baltic. So, not to spoil the movie, but this is like it's a pretty important finding on the moon. In I think it's on the moon in the movie, and so it must be something special if what her husband is doing is more important than go to the moon to investigate this. It must have been some very important underwater research in the Baltic. So what ufologists think it is that this woman's husband, he's investigating this spaceship. That's why he's not going to the moon to investigate that anomaly on the moon. That's pretty cool. That's like connecting different kind of UFO teams to the other. So okay, so it will be interesting, especially if this team Ocean X can get like founding maybe their own Netflix series about this UFO or whatever, at least an episode. So because uh, I think they want to share it, but they also want to make money on this finding. That's why they haven't told the place of this to the public yet. So okay.